the streets up. Yeah, yeah. Okay, wake the streets up. Okay, come on. Yeah, yeah. Okay.
Well, hello, Long Island Networkers, followers, fans. So today is going to be our first edition of a segment we're going to call Get to Know a Networker. Our guest today is the owner of TechRunner IT, Dan Comas. Hey, Dan.
How's it going, Adam?
Good, good. So, you know, when we eventually go out and have these in our lunch meetings, we're going to give all of our attendees an opportunity to record a commercial. So obviously we couldn't do that because of the quarantine. So we thought this would be a great idea to go ahead, shoot that kind of a commercial in a little bit more of a long format, and like the name says, get to know your networker. So we go through 6 different questions. We'll go through that with you, Dan. And let's start with the first one. It's very simple. Who are you?
I'm Dan Comas. I'm the owner of TechRunner IT. We are a business-to-business IT service provider. So, you know, if you're a company that is, 5, 10 people or more, up to 250, 300 people, we are your outsourced IT department. So all of your infrastructure, all of your account management, your cloud, everything that has to do with your IT infrastructure, we provide service, maintain, manage, support, and handle it front to back.
Excellent. So that talks a lot to our second question, which is, what do you do? But if you could refine it down or simplify it, a lot of people aren't going to understand some of the technical terms of what you said or aren't familiar with it. So to a business owner, and I'm a business owner myself. I'm on the executive board for 2 chambers of commerce. So I have hundreds of business owners, and some of them are extremely technical, and some of them have no clue but are very good at their trade. So why don't you narrow it down to a little bit about what you actually do?
Probably the most important thing that we do is to make sure all your technology works. We focus on continuity, right? That's the big word with us. So what does that mean? That means your computers work all the time. That means all your data is backed up. That means you have access to your information, in the office, at home, on the road. So obviously, work from home has been a huge thing for us in the past couple of weeks. Your Wi-Fi needs to work. If you are a repair shop and you have diagnostic tools, you're going out to you're fixing cars, you're going out to a car, you need to make sure that the Wi-Fi works where the car is in order for you to do the job, right? A lot of things that, people may find ubiquitous or take for granted, infrastructure is really important. We make sure that everything works all the time.
That's great. So yeah, that makes a lot of sense to simplify it. So it's just making sure your technology works.
Make sure it works, right? We go by 3 C's: continuity, make sure it works; cybersecurity, make sure it's safe; and compliance, to make sure it's legal, right? A lot of industries have regulations they need to follow, and we help ensure that they do that.
Yeah, I'm a financial planner by trade, so the security and the compliance are always at the top of the list for us. I can't even put anything out there unless we get all kinds of compliance and everything else. So that's good things. But making sure it works is important to any business, no matter what you're doing. And I know a lot of times people can waste their own time trying to figure it out. So it's good you're letting them know you're a resource for that. So the next question is, how do you actually do what you do? So when you're meeting with a client, how do you do what you're doing?
So first off, almost everything we do is done remotely, right? So we have remote access to everything on our client sites. So if we need to perform, some sort of basic support, if there's just an end user issue, it's opening a ticket in our system so that we have a record of an issue. We follow up with that user immediately, remotely connect to their system, and then troubleshoot the system through. A lot of project work is done in the background. Quite a lot of what we do is invisible and non-invasive, right? So, our best work is done when you don't see us.
Oh, that's good.
The idea is that you keep moving and we keep it moving.
Very nice. I like that. That's a good tagline. By the way, do you have a tagline for TechRunner IT?
Oh, we have so many. But the root of it really is the one thing we say more than anything else is same team, right? Like we're not a commodity. We're a service. We really look for partnerships with our clients, long-term relationships. You know, we've known so many people for such a long time, some of our clients, and, you know, a lot of long-term clients, 10 years plus. The more we get to know the business, the more we get to know your people, the more we see how we can help, right? So, you know, we're not looking to put Band-Aids on problems. We're really looking to find efficiencies in your day-to-day, right? So, you know, what do we know about tech? What does our experience bring to your business that can take this 6-step process that you're doing and shorten it into a 2-step process?
Nice.
Let's give you time back. Let's make it easier for you to do more, right? That's how your business is going to grow. So when we engage with business owners who have that mindset, it is the best relationship in the world, because our team wants to go. We want to find new stuff. We want to get going. Like, we get amped up about, look at me, like this, you know, we get amped up about that stuff, man.
Right. Yeah. You have a passion about it, you know? And it's interesting because, you know, I have a lot of business owners as clients from financial planning or investments or insurance. And one of the things I always talk to them about is 2 things: is you have to work in your business and you have to work on your business, right? And what I always try to implore them to do is hire people to work on your business so you can go back to working in your business of what you're an expert at. So that makes a lot of sense. So next question is my favorite. So it'll go back to the beginning of, why did you actually start this business?
I started TechRunner because I was working in an IT firm that clients weren't happy.
I see you holding back. Like, I don't want to say the real.
No, I just don't want to be negative, you know?
Right. But sometimes positives come from a negative, so it's not necessarily a bad thing. We don't have to name names of who that former company was, but that's usually a reason. You know, most people start businesses to solve a problem. So
yeah, and that really is what it was. I thought we could do more, and I went for it. You know, you know, again, we really like people. Ultimately, the core of our team and the core of our company is helping people. We just do it through IT. So, you know, we like problem solving. We like getting stuff done. And, you know, I felt more productive. I felt like a bigger contributor to the people that I was working with once I started TechRunner than I did. You know, maybe I felt limited or like in a box working for another company. So now I got to make the rules and I got to execute. And 12 years later, you know, every year's been better than the last.
That's wonderful. So really, to sum it up, it's the why, from what I'm hearing, and correct me if I'm wrong, but it's really, you wanted to have a bigger impact on your clients versus what you were doing previously.
I think that's fair. That's a very kind way to say it. Thank you.
Yeah. No problem. So this question's good, just because I think a lot of business owners are scared to offer this answer without someone asking, and not many people ask, is, when do people actually need your business? So what would come up, you know, like my 642 Advising, my company, is, we're financial planning for life's big events. That's kind of easy. You have a big event in your life, you're probably going to need me. So in your business, when do people really need you? I know they would have, you know, a ubiquitous need for you, but when would an item come up in their life and their business that would trigger, I got to call Dan?
The 2 biggest ones are when the company has grown to a size, you know, where they can no longer handle this stuff themselves. You know, a lot of times smaller companies starting, you know, somebody gets assigned to it who has like a knack for technology, and that always runs its course.
Okay.
You know, if the company continues to grow, I should say, that eventually runs its course because that person can no longer handle what they're trying to accomplish. So you bring in a company like ours. Another is more well-established companies who have full-time IT staff, potentially retiring or leaving for one reason or another. We come into those situations And quite often we wind up delivering a higher level of service at a lower cost to the company. So that's usually a win-win.
Yeah, that's nice.
Yeah.
Oh, excellent. So when people are growing, so what do you typically see? You know, because I work with companies that are sole props, all the way up to companies that have, 6,000 people on them. So what do what's the growth mode where you really see people should start thinking about it? Because I'm a planner, so I like to prepare before things, I'm proactive instead of reactive.
Yeah.
So for my clients or anybody who's watching this or part of the Long Island Networkers team, where do you think is a good point to start considering, let me call TechRunner IT and see what they're all about?
Easiest metric you can use is if you have 10 employees or more.
Oh, great.
It's as simple as that. Our services do differ from a 10-person business to a 100-person business, naturally, right? Needs are going to be different, but there's definitely value that we can add and stress that we can remove from any business that has 10 users or more.
That's excellent. I know a lot of small business owners tend to avoid hiring outside counsel or outside teams or outside services because of the loyalty to their employees. They've Mary or Billy has been with me since day one and we're growing, and I don't want to eliminate that person's role or responsibilities, income. They have families and mortgages and other things. So what happens when a small business has someone that's doing your role and they bring you on? What happens to that employee? They become part of your team? Are they eliminated? How does that work?
That employee typically spends their time focused on their primary job responsibility. We'll see a lot, somebody who's like in in-house marketing maybe is okay, handle the IT, set up the email accounts and make sure everybody, has access to the basics. Okay, fine. But at some point, that person is so busy marketing with the growth of the company that they're not able to do those other jobs. So it's not a situation where we come in and eliminate a position. We augment their position. It's almost as if we are hired as an addition to the company. So, in the 12 years, I don't know that we've displaced, more than a handful of people, and obviously that's not at our discretion. We're not looking to pounce on, we're not looking to get people out so we can get in.
Right.
Again, that doesn't work. If that's something that the company's trying to do, then we might not be a fit for that.
Right.
We want growth. We're not looking to we're not.
Yeah, it's a question that always comes up when I'm meeting with my clients is, they're scared for that person. They don't, and they love them and they're thankful that they help them grow their business. So yeah, that's good for people to know that and understand that is you're not replacing. You're trying to accelerate their growth and allow that person to do their job even better. Sounds
right.
good.
Right. And a lot of times we replace other IT companies. Now, in those scenarios, the only reason that company is looking for a new IT partner is typically because they're not satisfied with service.
Sure.
So
sure.
Transparency, yes, we certainly supplant other service providers. That's very common in our industry.
Right. Yeah. That one, they're always fine with that. They either want to save money or get a better job done. They usually want both done in half the time.
There you go. Better, faster, cheaper. What?
Yeah. Right. Exactly. This was great. So I'm glad we got to get to know you. Like we said, getting to know your networker. So last question is, where can people find you?
So if you want to get in touch with me directly, email dan@techrunnerit.com. I'm happy to talk. Our social media, we're pretty aggressive on Instagram at TechRunnerIT and LinkedIn. So hit us up. You can give us a call, 516-320-9334, old school. Yeah, we're around. We're happy to talk and hear what's going on with your business.
Excellent. Great. Well, thanks so much for being here today and this is our first, so it's our first one of these, and you were actually part of our first networking meeting on Zoom as well. So we thank you very much. Hope a lot of people learn a lot and give you a call and find out if they can utilize you, your company, and your services to better their business. Thanks so much.
Thank you, Adam.
You're welcome.